Hi, welcome back. It's been a really long time since I last did a YouTube video. It's actually been 6 months. Oops. I didn't realise it had been quite that long. I've just been busy with life, I suppose, and kept meaning to do them and then just never got round to it. So the room's a little bit of a mess, but I decided that if I don't record it now, I'm probably never going to get round to recording it because the room's always a mess. So I did a little bit of a poll over on my Instagram page and asked if people wanted to know what I've been making for the whole 6 months or just the last month. Most people voted for the 6 months. So I've just had a quick pull out of my wardrobe, grabbed everything that I think I've made in the last 6 months. There's a few bits that are in the wash, but never mind. And I'm just gonna try to relatively quickly go through them because I've made way more than I realised, and I don't want you to get bored of listening to me. So if you don't listen to the end, completely understand. I'm not going to go through them in any order. I can't remember all my sizings for everything, but if you have a look at my Instagram, it should all be on there. And if you've got any questions, then just pop me a comment below and I'll make sure to answer them. So yeah, first of all, I made a Fibre Mood Leah boiler suit. So this was not love at first sight for me. It was meant to have long sleeves and it was also meant to have a fabric tie. One thing I'm going to say about Fibre Mood patterns is most of them you seem to need to add the seam allowance, which I'm not keen on. Only because it's extra work, and also some of the pattern pieces I feel like I was sort of winging it on how to add the seam allowance when they're an unusual size. Yeah, so this is the Fibre Mood Leah. It was actually fine to make. The collar stand seemed to need a lot of ease. I got a little bit frustrated with that. It was meant to have long sleeves. I didn't like it with long sleeves, so I chopped them off. And now I do really like it. I'll put a picture in, and actually the post I wrote about this was a Minerva brand ambassador post, and it was featured in the most recent Love Sewing magazine, so that was pretty cool. I was really pleased about that. So yeah, that's my first make. It's a little bit funny on the eyes sewing this fabric. It's a very small checked suiting, and it's a lot lighter weight than I was expecting. I had originally planned to make a suit out of this fabric, but it was too lightweight, and Charlene from So Dressmaking suggested I made a boiler suit. So yeah, that's my first make. I'm just going to make a little pile on the floor so I can pop them back in my wardrobe later. I also made, excuse the fact it's not ironed, this is another make as part of the Minerva brand ambassador team. So this is the Helens closet March dress. If you follow me on Instagram or read any of my blogs, you'll probably know that I'm a really big fan of her patterns. I just really like the sizing and the shape, and there's so much detail in her pattern. They're always really well constructed, and it just makes for a lovely sew, even for a beginner. So yeah, this is my only March dress. I do need to make another one because it's a really lovely pattern. This was a little bit of a fun print. I like doing the pattern placement on it though. And I decided to do a bit of colour blocking because, well, one, I thought it would be fun, and also it would use a bit of my stash, but also I didn't have enough fabric to make the whole dress, so it kind of left me with no choice. I was either going to make a top or a colour block dress. So yeah, that's what I went with for that one. I also did a pattern test for Schultz Apparel. This is their this is the new Girder Dress. So the fabric is again another Minerva one. I really love this. I think it's a art gallery poplin. It's very much my colour because I love green, and I love this sort of like foresty green. And yeah, so I really like the big collar of this. It's quite a statement dress. It's sort of got quite a vintage vibe. I did want to make long sleeves, but I didn't have enough fabric for that. And I did actually have to do a centre front and centre back seam because the fabric's very narrow. It's only 110 centimetres, but I actually don't think you can really notice. I actually forgot until I saw the seam then. Yeah, so I like this, and I'm gonna make more of it because, like I said, I want to give the long sleeve a go. And then there's also a version with a few different tiers, so I think that'll be lovely, especially for summer. And then I've also made the new Sabine skirt from the Little Pomegranate. I've worn this absolutely tons since I made it. It's just such a lovely, simple pattern. The instructions are brilliant. It's absolutely excellent for beginners. I wish I'd had a pattern that well written with that much detail when I first started sewing. It's just an elastic waist. It's got lovely big pockets. I like the sort of subtle slash there. I really like the shape of it. Yeah, I really love this, and I'm gonna make this lots. So this is a crepe that was gifted to me from Fabric Corner, which is my local fabric shop, and I made the skirt, and I also made a Davenport dress hack. So I've never made the Davenport before. It's a new pattern, and the reason I ended up making a top is because I've got a few other fabrics in my stash that I thought would go great with this, and I'm going to be making a pair of trousers in like a rusty orange colour, so I wanted to wear multiple fabrics together, and I knew that if I made a dress I wouldn't be able to, so I decided to make a faux dress, and it pretty much looks like the Davenport dress when it's on. I'll put in a picture. But yeah, this is really versatile. I've worn it so much because it fits into my wardrobe so well, and I love that I can wear it separate or together. I've made a couple of faux jumpsuits before, but never a dress. I don't know why I've never done it with a dress. But yeah, I'm going to be making a lot more of those. And I really love the construction of the yoke on this. It was very clever, and it gives a really nice, neat finish. Then I also made my first Anna Allen Anthea blouse in a gingham from the rag shop. This is the first time I've used gingham. I don't know how. Love this pattern. I've made another one since, and I've got another one, well, a hacked version cut out to sew. It's a great pattern. I love the sleeves. I love the shape of the top. It's a really nice sew. It's so versatile. This was a 16 graded out to an 18, although I probably didn't need to bother with the grading. It's plenty of room, but I like lots of these anyway. Yeah, this is great, and I'm trying to get some more tops in my wardrobe because I don't have many. I have a lot of dresses. Then I've also got this is the Deer and Doe Passiflor, if I've said that right. It's very creased because it's sort of been scrunched up on the end of my stairs. I made this for a blog post with the rag shop, and there was myself that did the Passiflor in this lovely, the colour won't show up well, I know it won't, but it's sort of a lovely olivey green tencel twill, I think. I'm sure that's right. And my friend Rebecca, who is number 65 on Instagram, made the same version but in a blue, a really beautiful cobalt blue, and we did a blog post each and then a little combined blog post. So yeah, that was really fun. This pattern was not that easy to sew. I wouldn't say it went smoothly. But I do really love it. I wear it mostly as a jacket. I don't think I'll ever wear it as a dress because it's just not really my thing. But I am really pleased with how it turns out. It goes with a lot of my wardrobe, but yeah, the instructions weren't the best, I don't think, which was a bit frustrating. I also used these little pigeon wishes buttons. They're the chai latte. I just love the buttons and I think they go perfectly. So yeah. I also had another blog that I did for the reg shop. It was actually a series of YouTube videos for so long. So this was a gifted fabric from Steph, and this is just the most beautiful fabric godmother crepe in the maxi version of the Shelby dress. I think it's lovely. I think it's quite a luxurious make. It's all my colours. It feels great. I did little fabric covered buttons that went really well. The only thing I would say about it is that I'm not sure how I feel about the facing. So the facing you don't stitch down. You can see I've pulled some of the interfacing away because I find that this sort of flaps open and then you can see the interfacing. Which I wasn't so into. I would need to rethink that next time. I think maybe I'd hand stitch it down, or I don't know. I'd have to think about that next time. It's not a problem for wearing it, but I just want to do something a bit neater next time, I think. And I did the little puff sleeve hack on that one. So quite a recent make of mine is this Tilly and the Buttons Lyra. It's the sweetest cotton poplin. No, it's not a poplin, it's just a cotton by Little Johnny. It's got this lovely, really cute design on it. It's my first time making a Lyra. I really like a shirt dress. You might, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen on my stories that the fitting wasn't ideal for me. I'm pretty sure I made a 7 graded to an 8. My issue was with the armholes. They're way too low. So next time I do need to hire them. So what I did is sort of like a really quick attempt at making it better was that under the arm, or like I haven't overlocked it yet. Forgot, oopsie. Under the arm I've made the seam allowance much smaller to the armpit to try and raise the armhole a bit, which has made it better, but it's still not 100%. So it's completely wearable. I've already worn it. It's really nice to wear, but it's just the movement in the arms isn't ideal, which, especially when you've got 2 toddlers to clamber around with, it is a bit irritating. Wearable but irritating. Yeah, so I do really love this though. I love the collar, and I didn't do the fabric ties because I thought the cotton would be a bit too stiff, so I just wear it with a belt. I'll definitely be making more of these once I fix my armhole issue, but I really like it as a pattern. I've made 2 heather blazers, which is probably one of my favourite makes to date. So I've got this in a sateen, lovely, bright and vibrant, really funky pattern. A pattern matched it across the front. Love a bit of pattern matching, it's so satisfying. And I've got some matching Jenny shorts, which I haven't brought through, but I'll put a picture in. Yeah, I just love this. This is a fabric from Minerva again, and the lining is a satin. I think it was a satin, like a crushed satin from the rag shop. I really love the colour. Yeah, I really love the heather blazer. So the next one I made is another really funky one in this jungle print velvet that I got from the fabric corner. Just love it. Yeah, I'm gonna make loads more blazers because I just really love them. I also pattern matched the front of this one as well as both the pockets. And then it was my first time using a little rosy cheeks label, so I got the little You Do You. I like having it visible on the front. Yeah, there'll definitely be more blazers in my wardrobe. I just probably need to make a plain one next because these don't go with that much. Yeah, but there we go, all the prints. Another really fun print, so you might have seen that I've recently started blogging for Lamazi, which I'm really excited about. It's Liana's lovely, it's a great shop, lots of really great interesting posts on their blog about all sorts of topics. So yeah, I'm really glad that I get to join the team. I've just done a post on body positivity, which is something that's really important to me, quite close to my heart. So yeah, I was really glad that I got to write about that. So yeah, it's a post on body positivity, and I talk a little bit about my experiences and feelings towards myself, and how I've, well, tried to overcome those, and I'm probably feeling the best I ever have done. Not probably, I am feeling the best I ever have done, and it's a really great place to get to, a hard place to get to, but a really good one. And I'm not going to say I don't have days where I still think not very nice things about myself, but I am getting there, and I'm on the right track, and I'm feeling good. So yeah, it's all about that, and then it's also talking about ways you can make your wardrobe flexible for your changing weight and your changing body. So yeah, if you have a read, I hope you find it helpful. And as part of that make, I use this beautiful viscose. Look at the colours, it's just such a fun print. So this was an example of how I would adapt a pattern to help it accommodate my body better. It's the Anthea blouse, which I've shortened, add a gathered skirt and waist ties. So that's a really fun one. And I also quite recently made my first Bakerloo blouse, wrong way around, by Nina Lee. I wasn't actually sure if I liked this pattern when I first saw it. I wasn't sure how I felt about such a big collar, but I love it, really love it. It's definitely grown on me. And my friend Emma, so Emma So Happy on Instagram, I met up with her recently and she was wearing one, and I really loved the fit. So that was it, I was sold and I bought it and made this. This is another Minerva fabric, and it's a cotton poplin. Really love the colours. I actually didn't have enough fabric to make it. So the pockets are in stash fabric, and then the skirt is cut the opposite way to the top. You can't really tell. I'm not really concerned, and I went with short sleeves because I didn't have enough for long. But yeah, and so my friend Emma suggested continuing the bias on the neckline to make ties, which is a genius idea. It looks really cute, and I've picked out this lilac, which is in the centre of the design. Yeah, so I've already got another one of these cut out in a 4-ounce denim that I've got from the rag shop, so I should be making that soon. And we're nearly at the end. I made the Fibre Mood Rhea, which I really like. Again, didn't quite have enough fabric. This is one that I got from Minerva, again part of their brand ambassador team, and I'd ordered the fabric to make a pona jacket, a short pona, then saw this, changed my mind. So the pockets aren't the pockets that it was meant to have, and then I've used some leftover flannel to do the back, but actually it matches perfectly. So yeah, I really like this. It's really cozy and warm, and I like the finishing with the bias binding. I think that looks really smart. Yeah, so I would make one of these again, maybe like a shorter version. And I love these big statement buttons that were from my grandma's stash. And then one last one is my Alexa jumpsuit, Tilly and the Buttons. This is in a really, really lovely, soft, dusty blue needle cord, and it's a Tilly and the Buttons pattern, and I did this because I was chosen to be the guest blogger for Felicity Fabrics for October. So this was their October post that I did. Yeah, I really liked making this. I love the fabric, it's so nice and soft. I spanned 3 sizes in this one, so I think it was a 6 top, 8 waist, 7 legs. So that was quite a bit of grading, but the Tilly and the Buttons patterns, what I like about them is that she's got so many markers on there for where your waist is, where your hips are, so it makes it so much easier to grade the patterns. Again, this had a fabric tie, which I didn't like, so I just put my belt through the belt casing, which I think works well. Yeah, oh yes, and I hacked it. It's not meant to have sleeves. I added sleeves. You can read about that on my blog post because I included all the details. It's a very similar shaped sleeve to the Ilford jacket. Yeah, so I like that. It feels quite fancy. And I think really, I know I have got a couple more makes, but I've spoken a lot. So I'm just gonna keep it at that. Oh, the only other thing I'll mention, because I absolutely love them, is my Chandler Pants. I've made 2 pairs now and I'm about to cut out my 3rd pair. That's a pattern by Untitled Thoughts, and I was on the hunt for my perfect pair of trousers, and I think that might be it. I really, really love them. I love the shape. They've got an elastic back. They've got details of like pleats and pockets and belt loops. Yeah, so I do really, really like those, and I will put some pictures in for you because that's probably one of my favourite patterns that I've sewn recently ever. Yeah. And then I suppose I'll just talk a little bit about some of my recent fabric purchases. So I went to the Knitting and Stitching show last weekend in Harrogate, which is my first time going to a sewing event show. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I went with my friend Betty, and yeah, we had a really, really lovely day getting to meet people and looking at fabric. So there's a few bits that I got. I just grabbed them. Ooh, oopsie, dropped them. So I got this really lovely cord, which is going to be Chandler Pants. Another little Johnny Cotton. This is going to be a shirt. I'm undecided what yet. And then I also got this boucle, rusty bouquet. I'm gonna make a Marlowe cardigan because Jen Leg Creatives, I think is her Instagram name. I probably not said the full name, but she made a Marlowe cardigan in a boiled wool, and I absolutely loved it. So I thought I'd go for something similar but in this boucle, and I love the colour, and I think it'd be really nice and soft and snuggly. And I feel like, oh yes, there was another fabric. I bought a jersey from Felicity Fabrics, so I'll just grab that. This it's like a brick orange and pink, which is not my normal colour, but I really love it. So this is going to be a t-shirt. I think probably the Rusker by Named Clothing, because I've made that quite recently and I really love the shape of it. So yes, I am going to wrap things up there, because I feel like I had so many makes to talk through. I knew I'd made a lot, but when I was getting it out of my wardrobe, I realised quite how many things I've made, and it's a lot. I've just been working on a few Christmas presents. I don't normally sew for the people, but I decided this year I'd make a couple of presents, not many. So yeah, that makes for a really nice change, because I do like sewing for myself and I don't normally sew for others. Well, for a couple of reasons, because it makes me nervous that they're not going to like it or that, you know, it won't fit, and also time's relatively limited, and I just have way too many ideas for myself, so I end up sewing for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna try not to leave it so long next time. I will plan to give you another catch up at the end of December, fingers crossed, and share with you what I've been making then, and plans and things like that. So hope you all have a lovely Christmas, because it'll be after Christmas that I next do another one of these. And thanks for listening. I know it's been a really long one today.